I'm Leslie.
And I'm Shelly.
And we are Sisters in Ebert. Welcome back for another Movie Monday.
It's Christmas time.
It's Christmas vacation, to be exact.
Christmas vacation.
Christmas vacation. Okay. 1989. To me, this is the quintessential Christmas movie.
It is. We had it recorded on VHS.
Yeah,
like
off
taped
Home
off
Box Weekend.
Off of a Home Box Weekend, HBO in its prime, and it's beautiful. we watched it when we were really little,
because there's like that cartoon sequence at the beginning, which I looked it up. It's one of 3 movies in 1989 that's a live action to have a opener with like
with a cartoon,
and the other 2 were Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and True Beverly Hills.
Yes. That's right. I forgot about that one.
Yeah. So we open up. Well, first of all, this was not a summer of movies. Like I said, we watched. Like Shelly said, we watched this every year.
Really little. Yeah. Where we didn't understand
prematurely.
It,
I'm sure. So we open to a cartoon of Santa having a tough time delivering to the Griswold house.
I love that scene.
This is a John Hughes movie. Mm-hmm. And which I didn't know till I got older.
Did you know it was supposed to be a Christopher Columbus
movie?
And
I know Christopher Columbus refused to work with Chevy Chase, and he thought that was going to wreck his career, but John Hughes gave him Home Alone instead.
Mm-hmm. And it made a lot more money.
So we cut to the Griswold family in a car with the with new children and the parents going to get their Christmas tree and Christmas caroling in the car. So as we know, Rusty and Audrey are different in every single vacation movie.
It's just tradition, and it's just because they couldn't get the kids for the second movie. They couldn't get Anthony Michael Hall.
This is the first year that Audrey's older than Rusty. Like a lot. Yeah.
No, she's always older, but
like a lot.
But it's obvious.
Significant.
Yeah, like he's gotten younger.
Yeah, every year. Yeah.
And like
they start out the first one, with him being pretty old now. Like,
and then in Europe, in European Vacation, he was older too. Remember, he was like.
I think that he was older than Audrey in the other 2, though. Slightly.
Oh, maybe he is.
I think he was.
I
think
he
was. So. Yeah, they're caroling, and they're going to have an old-fashioned Christmas this year.
I love Clark's singing, too.
Just,
joy
to the world. That's later.
Yeah,
later. There's a truck that's riding Clark's tail in the family truckster as it passes Clark, and he flips him the bird. Clark flips the bird. Clark road rages and goes back and forth with the other driver, and a semi-truck is also approaching, which Clark doesn't see, and when passing gets stuck underneath a logging truck as Ellen says the Lord's Prayer. And forgive my husband, for he knows not what he does. Clark, amen. Clark jerks the truckster out from under the semi because they're stuck and they're just kind of having to keep pace.
He's got to keep maintaining the speed so that they don't crash.
Which I didn't get that as a kid.
No, I didn't either. Dangerous. Yeah, like I'm like, oh, he's under the truck.
Yeah, Dad would be like, look at that. And they crash into. So he gets out from under the semi and crashes into the Christmas tree lot where Clark chooses to walk way out and cut his own tree. Instead of there's all these pre-cut trees.
Yeah, they're really beautiful trees. So he's just tromping through the snow for the experience. It's all about the experience.
Old-fashioned Christmas.
Yes. He's got his whole family with him, ready to go through the snow.
He finds a behemoth tree which may not even fit in the yard. Is that going to fit? That's not even going to fit in our yard, Dad. It's not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room. Audrey is frozen.
Yeah, like her eyelids are like all full of icicles.
And they realize they forgot a saw, so they dig it up by its roots.
Yeah, you just see it on top of the car with like the big roots.
Yeah, which there is a deleted scene I read that shows them going back to try to get a saw because they realize they forgot the saw, and the guy at the front tree stand doesn't have a saw, and so he hands him a shovel. And that's how we got that. Because I always wondered how they did
that's
that.
True, where they just
but it got cut.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like this era of movies, like they're always like 5 hours long when they finish the cut, and then they gotta chop it way down.
You're right. Yeah, there was they're like, we're just gonna film everything and see what's
we'll see what looks good.
Okay. So that evening, the Griswold yuppie neighbors arrive home and they mock Clark's enormous tree. Clark gets the tree in the house and he takes out the windows when he cuts like the binder up, like the binding cord up, and little full, lot of sap.
He's like in it.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Both Clark and Ellen's parents are coming for Christmas, they decide. And she's like, Ellen's like, my parents decided that they want to come too. And she's like freaking out, and Clark's like, yeah. He insists he wants a big family Christmas and that this is what they're going to do.
He's very excited. Yeah.
It's December 14th on the Advent calendar.
I always love this part too because they're like doing the countdown.
It's like a little like
it's like to like transition the scenes. Like they just zoom in on it. Yeah, music twinkling.
Yeah, and we're at Clark's job talking Christmas bonuses with a guy who double crossed Patrick Swayze in Ghost.
I didn't realize.
Didn't you realize?
No,
I recognized him right away.
Oh my.
Yeah. Whoever the actor is also played the bad guy in Ghost. Clark plans to use his bonus to put in a swimming pool, and the boss is Mr. Shirley William Doyle Murray.
Love it.
I love it too. Who was also in Caddyshack and what else with
Oh yeah, he was in.
Oh, he was the campsite, like the tent rent guy in Vacation.
Yes.
Which we were talking about the director before. This is a little off topic, but they originally they were considering Harold Ramis when they didn't have a director because he directed the first one, but he had already committed to Ghostbusters 2, so he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It
was good.
So, sidebar. We cut to a busy department store where Clark is in the lingerie section, and he's tongue-tied with a sales girl, Mary, who, did you know that was supposed to be Christy Brinkley?
Like it what? Oh, like they wanted to get
Christy Brinkley, but she said no because she's like, what are the odds I'd be working in a store in Chicago where she's like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
she was right to say.
Yeah, I agree. Clark pretends that Ellen is dead. oh, I'm sorry. Oh no, we're divorced. And Rusty catches him. You can't hardly see the.
You can't see the line, can you, Russ?
Nope. So the in-laws all arrive at once in a frenzy.
Yeah, like ding dong, ding dong.
Yeah,
like it keeps getting more ominous.
Yes, and that was on purpose.
Yes.
Clark and Rusty start putting up the Christmas lights outside.
We waited quite a long time here for this perfect Christmas. December,
I would have that
15th now
ready though for the in-laws because they're all just like squawking at each other when they show up. So.
I mean, it is a good escape from the in-laws.
It is. Yeah, maybe he planned that. The neighbors again mock Clark, and he has Rusty sort of giant ball of like tangled light ball. Yes. And struggles on a ladder. Now this was back in the days where one goes out, they all go out. So
lights are a headache. In these days.
Yes. And I remember that when we were kids too. We'd be putting up the Christmas tree and we couldn't do it because
the middle strand isn't working.
Yeah. So sorry, girls.
And you have to do the lights before you can do the ornaments, which we wanted to help with. Yep. And it was like,
sorry, girls, you have to run to the store. Well, let's go. No, we're gonna go tomorrow. No. Ellen explains to Audrey that it's Christmas and they're all in misery because Grandpa answered the door while I was in the bathroom. Yeah. The phone.
Yeah, answered the phone. He told him I was in the bathroom. So embarrassing for a teenager to go to the bathroom.
Ellen's mother asked if she's smoking again, even though she was just smoking herself. Like, her mother's always smoking, and she's like, Ellen, are you smoking again? No!
She's got it in her mouth.
But her mom's a smoker, and her mom's Doris Roberts. Who is also the mom / grandma, and Everybody Loves Raymond, and a number of different things.
We loved that when we were kids. Yeah. Like we watched it as a family, so that was always like, oh, it's the grandma. Yeah, and she's like the exact same. She's character. The exact same character. Oh my gosh, yeah. She's typecast.
Yeah, she is. Clark sends an icicle through the neighbor's window, which breaks it and their stereo, and then melts. So, they come home and their stereo's busted and they don't know why.
They're, very trendy, modern.
Yeah, everything's, the top tech.
Yes.
Yeah, top
cool 90s. On the cusp of the 90s, people.
Clark brings the whole family out. I hope I get to where they come home. Maybe I didn't, but like
we'll circle back.
Yeah,
I think you probably would though.
I would think so. Yeah, I would think so too. Clark brings the whole family out to see him light the lights for the first time, and the lights don't work. There's 25,000 Italian twinkle lights. Clark must check each bulb by hand.
He's like trying to explain.
And that's where it was joy to the world.
And nothing. And they're all just like,
yeah.
We're staying out in the cold in our pajamas. Like, okay, I'm going to bed.
In Chicago.
And it's like, you didn't test these before you started stapling them to your roof?
I know.
I mean, like that too. He was a staple guy.
Yeah. I thought that's how you did it because we never did outdoor lights. I'm like, oh, I guess that's how you do it. Yeah.
They put in so many staples.
They did.
So many.
And well, he must have though because remember he's like, Russ, we checked all these lights, right?
Oh yeah, Dad, I'm sure of it.
Yeah. So Russ, the family comforts Clark and all go to bed but him. And Rusty's like, like he's like, come on, Russ, we're gonna do this.
Yeah, like come help me, Russ.
So he doesn't have a watch, but he like checks his watch and goes, and that was a nod to Chevy Chase.
Yes, because that was like his signature bit,
like not having a watch and pretending.
Look at the time.
So
he doesn't like gotta walk the dog, gotta
take out the garbage, like
something else like ridiculous too. I don't remember what he says.
Mow or something.
Yeah.
The family comforts Clark. Yeah, they all go to bed. Ellen's dad, the granddad, is staring at Rusty's ceiling babe poster.
Waiting for the tape to
come out. And the next day, Clark goes to the attic to hide Christmas presents and gets stuck when Ellen's mom closes the door.
She's like, ooh, it's drafty. Closes the attic. Like, don't even think, like, is anybody up there?
Yeah. Just puts it back up.
And then they all leave to go Christmas shopping. So he's stuck up there.
So everyone else leaves the house to go Christmas shopping, and Clark passes the time watching family movies from his childhood and dresses in attic storage clothes for warmth.
Yeah, it's funny little outfit he's got on. He's got these like silk gloves and like this turban. Yeah. I don't know why he has it up there.
At one point he finds like a gift that's wrapped up there. It says Happy Mother's Day 1983 from Clark. And like that was a nod to the first National Lampoon's movie.
But like I love this part. Like it's so
Christmas 1955.
Yeah, he's watching his home movies, and I reminded because like our mom had videos from when she was a little girl, and that's what it looked like. And I just love that. So he's watching the reels up there.
So okay. Clark comes crashing through the ceiling in Rusty's room, but for some reason doesn't leave the attic until Ellen comes home and pulls the ladder down, sending Clark crashing. Because when he's watching these movies, he's sitting there, but he's sitting like where you would pull down the door.
Yeah, but he collapses like on. No, it's not where you pull down the door because he's stepping on the beam. So
no. I'm saying when Ellen pulls it down, he's sitting there.
Oh yeah,
because that's where he goes crashing down.
That's true.
That's what I meant. Well, yeah, when he initially goes down, he's like stepping in between the beams, like I guess where you're not supposed to step. But
yeah, because it's not reinforced there, so he just ended up going right through the ceiling.
Right.
But like,
I guess he didn't want to make a bigger hole.
But I think like you could. It wasn't big enough because he fell on the bunk bed. So like, there's not you got like this much room. So I don't think he could have squeezed. Gotcha. I mean, maybe if you really tried. But I would be worried about getting stuck personally. Yeah. At least he had warmth there. He's like there, like warming his hands.
Everyone, when they never address it. What do they do? Like,
there's a hole in the ceiling now. Apparently,
everyone else leaves the house. We already got to that part. Okay. Yeah. The neighbors again come home. They're ready for a romantic night alone. Clark is checking the lights in the dark. Nothing is working. Flips the garage switch.
So we didn't.
Yeah, I must not have.
The first time.
I must have. Yeah, not really.
So he sent the icicle through, and it like ruined their stereo. Yeah. And so then they come home, and of course the icicle is melted, so it's just wet. And
there's like broken glass and stuff everywhere.
The windows shattered, the stereo smashed, and there's just puddles because the icicle is melted.
What happened to the stereo, Todd?
I don't know, Margo.
And why is the carpet all wet? And we didn't say Julia Louis-Dreyfus is Margo in this movie.
Yes. Yeah. Todd's like nobody. Right?
Todd is somebody, but I forget who. He's like the brother of somebody. I just looked this up yesterday and I forgot to. Oh well, it's not going to be in this video. Sorry.
Put in the comments.
Yeah. Okay. So again, at this point, the neighbors came home again, ready for a romantic night alone. Clark is checking the lights in the dark. Nothing's working. He flips the garage switch and gets them working, blinding the neighbors. But the light is flipped off in the garage because Ellen comes out, causing the lights to turn back off as Clark assaults the Santa blow mold.
Yes.
And Ellen realizes the switch must be on to keep the lights on for for the family to see.
Clark had switched it on and then didn't realize, he came out, plugged it in, and it worked. He's like, it's working now. So then it went off when Ellen flipped the switch. He didn't realize. Like, there's a whole back and forth. And then she's just like, and then it's a hallelujah.
So, but when he kicks the blow mold, he actually injured his foot. Like, he like broke his toe or something. I don't know.
But it's that take. Like, they kept the take.
Yeah, he kept the well, because they only had one take pretty much. Yeah, he did it. And he couldn't do it again after that. That's why.
He was just gonna do it once.
Yeah. So the whole family comes out to see. Those little lights aren't twinkling, Clark. Ellen's dad says that. Yeah. Eddie and Catherine and the youngest kids and dog all arrive at the moment of the light, surprising Clark in their RV. Yeah.
Oh, what a big vacation without Cousin Eddie. No. We missed him in the European vacation.
Yes. Which, I'm blanking. Randy Quaid. Yes, I was I kept trying to say Dennis Quaid. I'm like, that's not right. That's not Dennis.
He's not in the Parent Trap.
So, the dog's name is Snot, and he keeps drinking the tree water. Which could dry out the tree, foreshadowing.
Yes.
And Eddie borrowed the RV off his buddy. He traded his house for it. And Eddie and the family will leave next month. When they leave next month, because the kids are gonna stay in the house, and Eddie and Catherine are gonna stay in the RV for some alone time. I'm like, ugh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And again, at this point, their children have changed ages.
Yeah.
And
no, they're different kids.
Well,
yeah. They had so many kids.
It's the same girl.
No, it's Ruby Sue. You're thinking of the older two.
That wasn't the same.
That wasn't the same.
They weren't supposed to be.
They weren't supposed to be the same. That they referenced them, like the girl was in rehab.
Oh,
the older girl was in rehab. I forget what her name. She comes back in Vegas vacation.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, I haven't
seen these are different kids. These are younger ones. Yeah, as they have so many. Remember, like there was Catherine had a baby on her. What happened to that baby?
She did. She was pregnant too at the time. Okay, I'm caught up.
There's so many. Yeah,
sorry.
And there were more than just the two sitting at the table too. They had a whole brood.
Yeah, that's true.
So. Yeah. Clark gives Mr. Shirley his Christmas present, and he doesn't appreciate it, avoids Clark, and very rude.
Mm-hmm. He's a jerk boss.
Everybody's just putting their present, like, on this giant desk.
Yes. Yeah, just handed it. It's like the teacher at school just bringing it in.
Yep. And the whole family goes sledding that night, and Clark uses food additive spray for lubrication, because, again, he works in food additives. Mm-hmm. Eddie discusses the plate in his head and experience with the VA. I said, could the Independence Day character be the same person?
That's true. That is true.
But he can't sled. Eddie can't sled because, if he dents the plate, the part in his hair is just not going to look right.
My hair just don't look right.
Clark goes zooming off and lands in the Walmart parking lot, and I put that was Pal's favorite part.
Yes.
Our grandfather, never really watched, these kind of movies, but he loved this one.
Yeah. I feel like it's a lot of older people's favorite scene.
Yeah.
I remember having it on a party once we were at, and, there was an older lady there, and she's just giggling to no end, this part. Because then he gets up at the end, there's, a hole in the sled, because he zooms so fast.
It's a saucer, too.
Yeah, it was like a metal saucer.
Yeah.
Seems cold.
Yes, it does. The next day is it's revealed at Walmart. I don't think I talked about it, or do I later? Hang on. Yeah, because Eddie reveals that they don't really have any gifts for the kids.
Oh, when they're shopping.
Yeah, because they were out of Eddie's been out of work for 7 years,
and he's
waiting for something.
It was right. They talk about it in the first movie, one, so that's when that's when he got laid off, and that he's been out of work since
that whole time. Yeah,
since the Wally World days.
So Clark says he'll get some stuff. So Eddie puts the biggest bag of dog food you can ever imagine. Yeah, and crushes some light bulbs.
Yeah, and other stuff in the cart. Tosses it in.
So Clark says that he and Ellen would be happy to get some presents for the kids.
To help give the kids a nice Christmas, which is very generous.
It
and
is.
Nice.
So he said that, he wants a list because, otherwise they'll just get whatever. And,
he's like, let's get the kids what they want.
Yeah.
Give me a list.
Yeah. So the next day is December 21st, and Clark is finishing up work tasks before the holiday, and he's worried as no bonus check has arrived yet. And he's, again, shelled out for that pool.
You already put the down
payment. Yeah, to get it so that they could get it going before
in the spring,
when it thawed. Yeah. And Clark is daydreaming that night about the swimming pool, including Mary the sales girl, who Eddie transforms into, and busted by Eddie's daughter, Ruby Sue, who fears Santa won't come. Because he's dressed in red pajamas, so she's like, Santa Claus?
Yeah, she thinks it's him as he's staring out the window having this fantasy.
Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. Okay. So Ruby Sue fears Santa won't come because the kids are always good and they never get presents, every year. Mm-hmm. And we didn't, next morning, Clark is still worried about his bonus check as Eddie empties a chemical toilet into the storm sewer.
Yeah, he's just
in a shorty
row. We can't say this word on this family channel here, but
it's the best line of the movie.
Yes, it is. Very quotable.
Ellen talks to Clark about Eddie's kids not having Christmas presents, and Eddie's out of work 7 years, had to sell the house. They sent too much money to a TV preacher, and he's holding out for a management position. So they live in the RV. Clark tells Eddie, that he and Ellen will help give the kids a nice Christmas. So that was the part. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought I didn't write it because I didn't see it. It was just really tiny. So it's now December 24th. Aunt Bethany and Uncle Lewis come for dinner, and they said both are senile. And is Rusty still in the Navy? Which, if you look in the old movies that Clark was watching, there is somebody dressed in a Navy outfit.
Okay.
And so she's confusing. People are thinking that maybe he was named Rusty too.
That's where he got his name.
Yeah, it could be a family. Maybe. Is Rusty still in the Navy? But I don't know. Yeah.
They say no, Aunt Bethany.
Yeah. Bethany has wrapped up her cat for a present along with the Jell-O mold.
Yeah. That would be weird. It's like
it's green and
Eddie just licks it.
Yep.
Key lime,
yeah. Ellen unwraps as the family sits for dinner. Clark invites Bethany to say grace. Grace, she's passed away 30 years ago.
So the blasting!
So she says the Pledge of Allegiance and stuff. Which, if you pay attention to, she doesn't have the under God in it because that wasn't added until 1954, I think. And everybody else says under God.
Okay.
She doesn't. So she says all this stuff. So she just keeps going. And they said because when she was a little girl, it would have been.
That's how she learned it.
It wouldn't have been.
That's funny. I didn't realize that.
I looked up some facts last night. Okay, so Catherine dried out the turkey and starts crying.
Yeah,
the organs are still in the bird though, which I didn't even know that was you could do that by accident, I guess. But
yeah,
and the whole family struggles through the meal because
somebody's dipping it in water.
I think it's a Clark dipping it in water.
Yeah, somebody is in there dipping it to soften it up to be able to chew it, and nobody's talking.
Just clinking. Yeah. The cat starts playing with the Christmas lights as Clark notices cat food in the Jell-O mold. Yeah. Aunt Bethany, does your cat like Jell-O? I don't know about the cat, Clark, but I sure do. I'm enjoying it. That's Eddie.
You do a good Eddie voice.
Thank you. Eddie's amazed as Clark mentions on the news a pilot spotted Santa over New York.
He's like, yeah, I heard on the news.
You serious, Clark?
And Clark just looks at him like,
Eddie,
Yep.
Clark and Ellen clean up the garbage that Eddie's dog destroyed, and Clark notices that the tree is unplugged, so he plugs it back in, electrocuting the cat and the easy chair.
She's been chomping away on the wires.
So Eddie says if that thing had 9 lives, he just spent all of them.
Oh, poor little kitty.
Yeah, I know. I hear that. Like, apparently they were going to cut that scene.
Yeah,
initially.
They didn't think it was going to go well with audience. They thought they'd be upset.
That was the favorite.
People loved it. That was so funny.
So as Clark and Eddie take the chair out for trash, Clark smells gas coming from the sewer, which is a storm sewer. Yeah, where Eddie was dumping their crapper. Family goes back to eat dessert as Lewis sets the tree ablaze along with his own back with his cigar. He's like
smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
Just oblivious that it's on fire. Yeah. And again, our grandfather once lit himself on fire at a Christmas Eve service.
That was the last year that church used real candles.
Yes, yeah. But it so it was a family joke then, like he was like Lewis.
Uncle Lewis. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The delivery man arrives with an envelope from Clark's job, which was supposed to arrive the day before, but it fell between the car seats. I'm sorry. Clark tells his family the plans for the swimming pool and explains that he put out money in advance and was worried. And he's like, I can't swim, Clark.
Yeah.
I know, Eddie.
I don't know how to swim, Clark.
I know, Eddie. Because he says if there's enough left, he'll fly them all out to christen the pool.
Yeah, he's hoping for a big bonus.
Yeah, for the inauguration of it. Clark opens the envelope and is a member. It's a membership to the Jelly of the Month Club for 1 year. That's the gift that keeps on giving.
Eddie, always seeing the bright side of things.
Clark throws a fit and says he wishes he had Mr. Shirley there with a ribbon so he could tell him off.
Yeah, there's this huge long rant.
Tirade. And he used, was it 33 adjectives to describe him?
Yeah, I think so.
And they said, like, a lot of it was ad-lib, but, like, the crew would, like, hold up, like, signs.
Yeah, they were all holding a sign with like, an adjective just so he had something to look off to pull from the next thing to keep, like, and he would fill in the things around it, but it was, like, just one word to help him keep it going.
The last line of that is my absolute favorite, though. Holy, where's the Tylenol? Where's the Tylenol? Because that's me all the time.
And I love that part is where he's drinking the eggnog too. Like he just takes the cup, which is a Wally World cup.
I didn't know that. I thought they were just like moose and reindeer.
It's like it's
the Wally World.
Wally World mascot cup, and he like just dunks it in. It's like a beautiful glass little thing.
Yeah, the glass like
dunks it in the bowl and just chugging the eggnog.
So Eddie thinks to himself and leaves in the RV. Clark has found the Tylenol and cuts down his own tree to replace the burned one. Crashes the tree again through the neighbor's window, who were slightly regretting not getting their own tree that year.
Yeah, they're like,
I know they're dirty and cliche, but don't
you think it would have been nice if we had our own tree?
Yeah, right through the window. So he places the presents that are rewrapped in newspaper under the tree, and Aunt Bethany hears a noise.
What's that little screeching sound?
Yeah. And a squirrel emerges from the tree and wreaks havoc in the house. Is that the partial reason that they shake off trees at lots?
Maybe. Clear out the wildlife.
It clears out the needles.
The needles and the squirrels.
Both mother-in-laws have fainted.
Yes.
Different parts of the floor. You just see feet. And men go in to trap the squirrel, which is now on Clark's back and is chased by Eddie's dog, Snot. And they finally, get it, throw it out. Ray's Julia Louis-Dreyfus is ready to confront him.
Go in there and tell him off.
Yeah. I have it here, actually. I didn't think I wrote it. Neighbors go to confront Clark about damage. Todd won't do it, so Margot goes as the door opens and is attacked by the squirrel. Clark, gone! Margot punches Todd instead when she gets back. She's all roughed up. So the family starts to leave as Clark again breaks down, saying everyone must stay for Christmas. Clark's dad,
he's having a mentee bee.
A mentee bee, big time. Clark's dad talks Clark down and reveals that he had a lot of help from Jack Daniels when Clark was a kid, because he's like, all of our Christmases were so perfect. He's like, I had a lot of help from Jack Daniels.
Ain't it the truth? Yeah. It seems so perfect when you're a kid, and then you look back and you hear the stories from your parents, and it's like, oh yeah, we were falling apart.
Yes. And he said things can't get any worse, so they all stay. We're all in the gates. Clark's dad retires reading The Night Before Christmas to Clark for the family, though, because it's his house. He should do it. He says.
The tradition. Yeah. And it's a sweet moment. It's like they've all calmed down. Yes. We're enjoying. We're excited. Yes. Santa's still coming. It's going to be great.
Oh, no. Nobody's leaving. We're all in this together. Clark reads as Eddie rolls up with Frank Shirley in the dog chains and a bow, a big red bow, fires Clark and explains that about not being honest about no bonuses. It left a lot of people struggling.
So if you remember if you've watched our vacation movie review, that we talked about how this scene was sort of supposed to happen in the first movie with
Roy E. Wally.
Yes. So they were going to kidnap him, and it was going to be a whole thing in his home.
Yeah.
So now they borrowed this scene to use in this one. So
gotcha. With Mr. Shirley.
Come back around, Mr. Shirley here. Another nod to the first movie.
Yes. So he gets through to Mr. Shirley, whose wife called the police already. Because Mr. Shirley's like, he didn't think about how people depend on that as part of their salary every year. Yeah, because I guess I've never been in a job where you get a lot of bonuses, but I guess some people do.
Yeah, so it's something that
and when we do get a bonus, you can't count on what it is. So
this was a different time.
It was.
This was a big deal.
Yep. It was before the housing crash and all that stuff. So we're just picking up the pieces now. So Mr. Shirley apologizes to Clark, whose name he gets wrong again, and tells Clark whatever he got last year, add 20%.
And everybody's freaking out. They're so excited. Yay, Clark!
They all
hugging and kissing.
All celebrate as the SWAT team arrives to both Margot and Todd's, along with the Griswolds.
Yes, because his wife has called the police, so they're rescuing him now.
Because they've located the RV.
Yeah, they go crashing through the windows.
Mr. Shirley says he won't press charges as he explains he cut out Christmas bonuses but changed his mind. That's pretty cold, man.
Well, so they've all got their hands up. Yeah. Ellen's got her hand on Clark's package.
Yeah. And she said she did that once.
Yeah.
And one of the takes, thinking, maybe that's
I'll just do it once. And yes, that's what they left in.
Welcome to our home.
And they go right back to it.
Because they said the freeze. They said the freeze.
The freeze. So she was there and then shakes their hands and then puts it back.
So there's a light that goes through the sky. Light goes through the sky and the kids think it's Santa and Clark says it's a Christmas star. And I'll go out to see it. Uncle Lewis says it's a light from the sewage treatment plant and relights his stogie and drops a match, causing an explosion in the storm sewer. And Santa is the blow mold takes flight.
Yeah, the Santa that Clark has kicked before. It was repropped then, even though it was kind of broken and not looking great. And then so now it's sailing through the air on fire.
Aunt Bethany leads all in singing the Star-Spangled Banner, and all are happy again, and Clark takes a moment alone in the yard, happy, saying, I did it, in achieving his old-fashioned family Christmas. And then the Christmas Vacation song plays, the credits out. Well, the Christmas Vacation song. You can't, when I said, Now, Aunt Bethany was I didn't write it down, but Aunt Bethany was the voice of Betty Boop.
Yes, this was her last film, I think, wasn't it?
I think so.
She died shortly after.
Yeah. And she, before this, the only other film that she had done, in recent times, was she reprised Betty Boop in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And out of the at the beginning of the movie, when the mother-in-laws are coming in, Diane Ladd is the other mother-in-law, Clark's mom, and you can hear Doris Roberts say, doesn't whatever her name is look old? But Diane Ladd was only 55 when they filmed this.
What?
Yes! She was in between, or Clark was in between. She was only 8 years older than Chevy Chase in real life.
Oh my gosh. Because I was going to say, you could have told me Clark was 55 and I believe it. Okay, sort of look like...
Yeah, she was only 50, and she's the only one of the grandparents that's still alive, actually.
Oh my gosh.
But, what was the other thing I was going to say about that? There's another deleted scene that they cut where they, talk about, Santa's coming, and then, at the end, the Santa Blowmobile was supposed to go like crashing down like Todd and Margot's like roof or something like that, like to come back down because it just went sailing off in the sky.
Just to further destroy their home, their Christmas, everything.
And Johnny Galecki was Rusty in this one, and Juliette Lewis was Audrey, and they are brother and sister in this, and they play a couple on the Connors TV show. Yeah. Yes.
And then also on Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes, me too.
I love when actors continue to work together. Yeah. Like, it shows like they really had a good time. Yeah. They have a relationship, and I just love that.
Yeah. Unless you're Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey, and you just
hate each other, and they're like, we'll do it.
I guess we'll do it. Yeah. We'll make movie history, I guess. Me too.
I won't believe it.
But yeah, do you have anything else that you want to add?
I don't have like too many fun facts, like you said.
I'm sorry.
No. Like I didn't dive too deep into this one, but I just love this movie so much.
I love it so much.
It's one that I don't get sick of.
No,
I could watch it over and over and over and over, and
I love like showing it to like my kids as they get old enough to like.
I haven't shown it to mine yet. I'm excited.
Yeah. I have my Real Housewives of Christmas Vacation shirt here.
I love it.
And I have my Bears hat. This is the same one that Clark wears in the movie. And I have a whole bunch of Christmas Vacation shirts. So I think I have like 6. Like I think I have so many of them.
I love it.
Maybe not. Maybe 4. Because my husband got me 2 last year, so I have like 2 more that. But
have you seen this movie?
I'm sure you have.
Probably. What do you think? Is it hilarious to you as it is to us?
It is very hilarious.
I just love it. It's so Christmassy.
It's so
you're immersed in Christmas.
And how early did these grandparents get there? Like
this is a long time. They're staying. Are they staying through the new year? Who knows?
Eddie is.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I love Eddie.
I do too. Oh, the other thing, there was one more thing that I said. Like when they talk about the older girl who, because remember she in the first one, she's the one who was like talking about French kissing.
Yeah.
She's the one that's in rehab. And they said like in Vegas, like he was talking about it. And like later on in Vegas Vacation, that's where they're all living, is Vegas. Because they meet up with yeah.
I gotcha. Yeah. I'll have to rewatch that one. We'll have to discuss.
We will, because I like Vegas Vacation too. That was
I remember
movies,
liking.
I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I think it came out around that time.
Then. Yeah, it was newer, but we watched it. Yeah.
Add it to the
list. We've got quite the master list, and don't you worry, we have stories for years.
Yes, we do. Hope you're not sick of us
because we already planned out 2025, and I'm like, we didn't even touch on the half of what I was thinking. So.
Yep, you got stories coming your way for a long time with us. Buckle up. We ain't done yet.
No. If you look down below in the description to this video, is a link to our social media on Facebook and Instagram. We're at Sisters and Ebert. Please like and follow. Subscribe to whatever you can. So you found our YouTube channel. Subscribe down here. Ring the bell. Yeah, like it'll alert you when we have new content coming out. And if you like the video, comment. We'd love to hear about your thoughts on the video.
Yes, we'd love to hear what you think.
But we thank you for joining us. If you don't have anything else.
Nothing here.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. And as we're kicking off the Christmas season, and we'll see you next week at the movies.